It's a bull. Good morning. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzma with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Excuse me, clear my throat there. Should have done that at first. Check out the live Deerfield Beach underwater camera today. Look at that water clarity. In the background, you can see the other pier pylons and some pretty cool fish here. Anybody can name 3 different fishes here and come into my store. I'll knock off the $1 an ounce premium that I make for 1 ounce. I'll save you $1. It's no big deal. But again, see if you can name 3 fish. The first person that doesn't come in my store, I'll knock off a $1 premium on your first silver 1 ounce that you buy. Well, love the cam here. You can watch this on Deerfield Beach Live. Let me kind of escape from that a little bit. And even cooler is the fact that this thing has sound. I don't know if any of you listen to it, but why would they put a microphone on an underwater camera? I'm hoping to catch a fish saying, F you, you're not going to catch me. But look at the water clarity today. It's just beautiful out there. Gosh, makes me, can't wait to get out tomorrow. I'm going to go fishing for sure. All right, that's the live Deerfield Beach underwater cam, and you can watch that yourself. It's pretty cool stuff. Well, let's talk about what I can talk about and do better than any other of the YouTubers out there, most all the other YouTubers out there. I can talk about dealer secrets. I can talk about dealer pricing structure. I am a wholesaler and retailer, mostly retailer, with a brick and mortar store here in South Florida. I've been doing this since 1977, started working for my father part-time in 77. And then I started doing it full-time in the 80s, and I've been doing it ever since. My specialty is precious metals, rare coins, but we also do estate jewelry, watches, antiques, and collectibles and other things, jewelry obviously. But again, I'm here to talk about coins and bars and what I've known, and all the little things I've learned over the last oh gosh, since 1977, I guess you do the math. I don't even want to think about it anymore. So what is that going to be today? Well, pricing. I think the most important thing I can teach you about is pricing, dealer wholesale pricing. And you're saying, is that a secret? Well, sure, it's a secret. See if you can find most dealers won't discuss what their actual costs are, what the wholesale costs are, what they have to pay for the product. If they've got to go out on dealer systems and buy product from other dealers, they don't tell you what they're paying for it, and most dealers don't want you to know. And you know what? It's a weird thought process, because to me, profit is not a dirty word. I find that when I just come right out and tell customers what I'm making on stuff versus when I don't do it, they're really cool with it. In fact, most of the time I get, is that all you're making? You know, because a lot of dealers try to hide what they're making. They think profit's a dirty word, because most dealers are coin people that came into as hobbyists, so they didn't really come in as business people. But that's a whole different subject for a different day that I can explain to you. Let's take a look at some products here. Oh, I'm sorry, products here. As the screenshot says, dealer, what we're going to pay. Oh, God, that's a big screenshot. Dealer secrets are coins and bars. And first, let's talk about spot prices here. Here's a CCE. Speaking of dealer pages, many of you have been watching me use CCE as my spot prices. One of the reasons I do it, it's really actually a crappy page to use and keep up because it's static. You have to keep refreshing it. But for what we do here, I like to have this static page here. But CCE, Certified Coin Exchange, they've been around since, this is a dealers network that APMEX and a lot of other bullion dealers are on, and they buy and sell bullion on this system. You have to have a good reputation to be on this system on CCE. They've been around since I think the early 1970s. When this system originally started, I remember working with my father in a coin shop that he was working in at the time here in South Florida and up in the Boca Raton area. And they had this teletype system. I don't know if they called it CCE. I forget what it was called. It wasn't Certified Coin Exchange. It was something else. Fax, F-A-C-T-S or something like that. And you would you'd go in and you type on a typewriter on a little piece of paper like a ticker tape, and you type the message you want, and then you would feed it into the machine, and the machine would send it over the telephone lines, and then you had this big giant printer that had holes in it. The paper had holes in it on the ends of it, and these printers would just print out messages from dealers all across the country. Well, my father had this system. I grew up in the system CC, so really I've been around the CC system for a long, long time. And then they've computerized, and now they're online. I think it's one of the oldest and best trading systems out there, in my opinion. And maybe we'll talk about more about CC some other time. I'll explain exactly what it is and the type of people that are on there. But again, a lot of dealers that you may buy from, like myself, buy and sell on this platform. Let's take a look at world spot prices, and gold currently is sitting at $18.99.91. I'm going to do a quick refresh up here on my, there we go, little refresh. 1897, so it's bouncing around. It looks like the high was probably, well, the high was 1900. It must have been just recently in the last 20 minutes. And it looks like we've got a range of 1883 since last night, since yesterday's close with New York, and a high of 1900. So overnight markets 1880, 1900, trading in like a $20 range or so. Platinum, again, trading in that below 28, but looks like 27.93 and 27.43 and low in the overnight markets. Wow, that says something. And platinum 1181, trading like in the $17 range as well, 1170 to 1186. Platinum's been sitting in this $1,200 range for I can't tell you how long, a year plus. Hasn't done much. Either way, I still think it's one of those metals that's, well, it's obviously going to break out when gold and silver break out, but it could do it on its own at some point too as well. It's kind of just strange. It's just been sitting there for such a long time. I think it's still dirt cheap. Again, if you're in metals you're not in metals to make day trades. You're in metals to buy them at the low and hopefully sell them at the high at some point, or have it as a hedge against your falling dollar that's in your pocket and your bank accounts and such. So the range is here pretty crazy. Silver, you know, at 27, it's having a rough time breaking that 28. And you know, a lot of people talk about manipulation, and and I'm sure it's being manipulated, and it has been for years and years and years. But here's what I see happening: it's made this mid-20 mark sometime last year. I mean, we are here. We are above 20. I don't see it going below 20 again. $20 silver. The way you see $20 silver right now, or in the future, will be like the way we look at $10 silver right now, or $5 silver. You just can't see it happening again anytime soon. If it ever happens again, highly unlikely. And again, you're going to look at $25 silver the same way in the future, and you're going to look at $2,000 gold the same way. We're all going to look at these metal prices down the road and say, damn, I wish I had bought gold at $2,000 or silver at $30 an ounce and platinum at 12 or 30. You're going to say it. Watch, it's going to happen. Mark my words. I guarantee it. So, but you have to live long enough. That's the whole key to the whole thing. And when I say live long enough, I don't mean you have to be like, who is it, Methuselah, the guy that lives for 1,000 years. I'm talking living long enough. I mean, if you plan on living for the next decade, you're going to do extremely well. And I don't think it's going to be even that long. We're going to set new records in precious metals. They're going to hit new highs, and they're going to hit these new plateaus where they're going to stay. One day, again, you're going to probably maybe even look at $2,500 gold and $50 silver and platinum at $1,500. You're going to say, wow, that was cheap. I don't think that's an impossibility either. I think we're in another leg up in this market right here that's we're going to create new highs with. Looking at zero hedge, not too much out there. Most of you know I like ZH because it provides us alternative views, different opinions, which you don't get from any corporate media sources. Corporate media sources give you one opinion, their opinion, the corporate opinion, and that's it. And if there are other opinions, they usually invite them on their corporate shows just so they can make fun of them. So that's why I hate corporate news, and I like places like ZH and other places that are hubs. You can read different authors, different viewpoints, and different thoughts. Not too much right here as far as ZH, as far as silver and gold. However, man, just bad stuff overall. You know, the economy, bad stuff in the economy, bad stuff. China braces for summer floods as 97 rivers exceed warning levels. Well, if China takes a big dump as far as their economy and everything, that's going to go, you know, reverberate across the world. So, you know, huge floods in China is not going to help the overall economy, the world economy, nor would with any other big superpower or big country. Lockheed Martin puts executives, well, no, I'm not going to read that kind of stuff, this political nonsense. What else out here? There's some weird articles on GH too sometimes, I gotta admit. Defund the police, blah, blah, blah. Again, not too much as far as anything to do with precious metals. The Fed explains why stocks melt up in overnight trading. That's probably a worthwhile read. I would read that if you got your ZH turned on here and you're ready to read after we're done with the video here. This is very interesting. 15 state treasuries warn they will pull assets from banks and obstruct the fossil fuel industry. So more or less, states are taking a more proactive control of. I mean, you got to remember how powerful state pension funds are. I mean, they're huge, just teacher funds and firemen and state pensions, and they put their money somewhere. A lot of people aren't aware of this. If you don't work for a state and you don't work for the government, you don't have a state pension, you probably don't know a lot about state pensions, but they store their money somewhere. They just don't put it in a mattress. They put it in different things. And what makes me talk about this article is that 15 state treasurers, and obviously oil states, are saying, listen, if you screw with oil, we're going to, if the banks start screwing around with oil companies, then we are going to say we're not going to keep our money in that bank. And I think that's pretty cool, actually. Well, that's what freedom is all about, the freedom to choose where you want to do business with. And it's still nice that states have that ability and the Fed's having a mandate that they have to deal with banks. But no less, I'm going to digress a little bit and talk about one other thing, is that I remember a few years back, the state of Texas, which seems to be a leader for some reason, odd as it sounds, a leader in freedom, actually, and maybe that does make sense coming from Texas, is talking about, or actually, I'm sorry, Texas, one of the state pension funds put the money in gold, and that was a few years back ago. Now you're starting to see that more and more. I believe that the Russians took one of their state pension funds or their state wealth funds or whatever the hell they call it, and started sticking some money into gold as well. So when you start to seeing more and more states and more pension funds putting money into precious metals, that says something. Not only pension funds, look what's been going on with central banks. Now, I don't see anything here. We'll move along to gata.org. And gata.org talks about central banks in here all the time. Bolivia's central bank will buy domestically mined gold. Well, if you've been watching over the last decade, you will have noticed that a lot of central banks all over the world have been beefing up their gold supply. You know, Russians, the Chinese, the Iranians, the Venezuelans, UK, I think, even at some point, because they've been screwing around with their gold supply so long that they probably actually got to take the paper that they have and turn it back into the real stuff. So, but again, I digress. But central banks are buying gold. Central banks covet gold. Why do they covet gold? Because they know at some point the fiat system is going to collapse, and they have to have something in their vaults, and it can't be paper money, and it can't be zeros and ones. It can't be digital. So what do? They own gold. And for all the people that bash gold, and for all the people that talk about, oh, gold's a archaic thing, nobody cares about it, it's just an old relic of and it is. It's 5,000 years old. It's been around for a long time. It's an old thing. The new thing is digital now, man. So bullshit, I'm saying, because central banks, the smartest, and really they are smart. A lot of people like to diss on central banks, like to diss on the Federal Reserve, but think about it. Think about how long they've kept this fiat Ponzi scheme going. These people are brilliant. Don't underestimate the Fed. Don't underestimate the people that can print money. These people are smarter than a lot of people give them credit to, including myself for a long time. The fact that they've continued this system, and here's the clue: they own gold. Why do they own gold? That's interesting. Why do central banks want to own a lot of gold? You should ask yourself that more often. And then that'll explain why you want to own gold. Couple good articles in gata.org. The end times draw near. Bloomberg cites BIS gold trading and seeks comment. I didn't read this, but we've talked about the Basel III thing coming up here, where it's going to supposedly force the paper derivatives in London and COMEX out of the picture. We've talked about why this is good for the price of gold, and then we've also discussed why is this happening. This is the biggest question, really. Why are they doing it? There's something big in the air. That's the reason they're doing it, because they're not helping their banker buddies by implementing Basel III. So anyways, that's my key phrase. I should put that at the beginning of the show. Anyways, Let's take a look at a couple other things here. Half a trillion sitting in the Fed earning nothing. Now think about that. That's scary. $500 billion is parked at the Federal Reserve Bank. That means that $500 billion isn't sitting in equities, bonds, or anything else. $500 billion is fearing those markets, obviously. It wouldn't be parked at the Fed if it wasn't, in my opinion. It would be out there producing real money instead of virtually nothing. Good article here by Benjamin Purvis. You should take a read on that. Matthew Piepenburg, one of my favorite writers out there. Good article, again, talks about comics is rigged against gold, but reset won't be. And again, like the stuff that this gentleman writes, I would read some of these articles to you, but one of the things I've been telling you for a long time is that there's two things you can do. You can help people by doing two things. You can teach them to, or you can give them a fish, and they'll eat for a day. And get old biblical saying, and I'm not really spiritual. I mean, I'm agnostic. Let's say I'm agnostic, but I like this saying. You can give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day, or you can teach a man to fish, or a woman how to fish, and they'll eat for life. And this is the goal of my programs here, my videos, is to teach you how to fish. So one of the things that your homework for the weekend, if you don't have gata.org on your bookmarks bar, then you are not truly serious about learning about gold and silver markets and stacking. So this needs to be on your bookmark bar because these guys tell you who the players are, how they manipulate markets, why they manipulate markets. There's a lot of good stuff here that you will never, ever read in corporate media. So your homework this weekend, there's some good new articles in here. There's too many for me to read to you right now. Over the weekend, or when you stop watching this video right now, make sure you go to gata.org, put it on your bookmark bar, and read these couple articles. If you've been following up, these have just been put up in the last day. So good stuff here to read, definitely. And it'll make you smarter than the average bear. I have no doubt about that. Well, I'm going to get into prices here. I told you I'd talk about wholesale prices, and I'm going to do that really quickly. I'm going to take a sip of coffee real quick, and by the way, I like black Colombian coffee. So I always talk about drinking my coffee here, so I might as well tell you what I'm drinking. Sorry about that. I had to wet the whistle here. All right, let's talk about the best. This is one area where I can really shine when it comes to YouTube videos, and that I can outdo the graph guys and the guys that talk about the economic impacts and the stories of the day and all that other stuff, you know, mint figures and that kind of thing. What can I do better than all these guys? Well, I can discuss product. I can discuss what the product really sells for, from wholesale to retail, from retail to wholesale. I can give you all the little ins and outs that those other YouTubers can't do. Nothing wrong with the other YouTubers, too. I love a lot of these guys, the enthusiasm, the knowledge, and all that stuff. I'm just going to, I got myself a niche, so I'm going to stick with that. Let's talk about silver first. Good products out there, and actually, I'm going to just give you the wholesale spreads here. Approximately the range of what dealers are buying for out there, but the buy and sell range kind of in between. Now, mind you, with silver, it can be, you know, it could be off by 50 cents here, 50 cents on the high side or 50 cents on the low side, thereabouts. But ready? I'm going to just spin down and give you the different products here. Let's take a look at what are we looking at here. Let me start with the worst deal out there, which is Silver Eagles, in my opinion. And I think Silver Eagle premiums are going to fall pretty soon at some point once the U.S. Mint starts producing the new version of Silver Eagles. Since they stopped production, that's why you've got the shortage plus the demand. True supply and demand. That's the reason Silver Eagles are so expensive and overpriced. If you watched my show last week, I advised you to trade 100 Silver Eagles to me, and I would give you back 107 generic 1-ounce rounds, which worked for a couple customers really well. They got more ounces in their stack instead of overpriced premiums. But no less, here, let me, I told you I was going to talk about numbers here. Let's tell you what the silver 1-ounce Eagles are running for now. Where are we? Looks like the spread is between $7 and $9 on 1-ounce American Silver Eagles. Again, mind you, it could go 50 cents under, 50 cents over these spreads that I'm giving you. So technically 650 to 950. But let's say that the wholesale spread right now, what dealers have to pay is between $7 and $9 on American Eagles. Like if you had American Eagles for sale and you were offering them for $7, you could probably sell the shit out of them yourself as a retailer. I mean, that's a cheaper price. But I'm giving you the lower range and the higher range on the wholesale levels here. Let's point out, and again, don't recommend Silver Eagles for sure, and you know my reason. I do like that Mickey Mouse coin. That's pretty cool. Let's talk about 1-ounce generics. Always been my favorite, cheapest price for the longest time. 1-ounce generics would include these rounds like this kind of round. There's a 1-ounce generic in a rectangular form. That looks like a 1-ounce generic. But anyway, most of you know what 1-ounce generics are. Let's just use the Buffalo as an example. The current wholesale dealer price out there is on 1-ounce. Let me take a look. Probably around $2 to $3.50, right in that range. Again, low to the high side. You could probably get $2 for your Silver Eagles from your local coin store if he's got big demand for them. But again, the buy and sell price, the spread on the wholesale level is $2 to $3.50. Mind you, what I said, there is a 50-cent spread between. It could be a 50 cent higher or lower depending on your region or who your dealer is. But that's the approximate wholesale level on this. Retail folks like yourself could expect to pay more. We charge customers $1 more than our wholesale cost when we're selling any U.S. silver products. When we're buying silver products from our clients, we go and we look at and see what the buyers are at. Say, for example, there's buyers out there. I just told you 1-ounce rounds, for example. If I got wholesalers that I can sell to for plus $2, and I don't have a lot of customers asking me for them, retailers, then I'd probably pay like spot plus $1 on those myself. I want to make $1 an ounce profit. However, if I've got a lot of people like I do right now coming in trying to buy 1-ounce generics from me and I don't have any, I'm going to pay my retail customers, my over-counter customers, closer to that wholesale price, if not the wholesale price, just to get the product in, which would be about +2. Again, 1-ounce silver rounds, the wholesale spreads on these are not what the retail people pay, but what the dealers pay are like between $2 and $3.50. And some of you are going to say, that's a pretty wide spread, and I would have to agree with you 100%. These wide spreads are indications. These wide wholesale spreads are definite indications of there is shortages in the market on a lot of these different products. Let's take a look at some other popular products out there too. I'm going to stick with coins in this deal. Where are the maple leafs? There it is, silver maple leafs. Let me tell you what the current wholesale price is on those. And again, this is not retail. This is the wholesale spreads. Wholesale spreads on these are, oh geez, where my eyes going a little wonky on me here. There we go, silver maple leafs. $3 to $5.25. And again, what I told you about these big spreads, it's absolutely true. Even wholesale, the spreads are pretty damn wide because the product is harder to source. That's the reason. So the wholesale spreads on silver maple leafs are between $3 and $5.25. When I'm giving you these prices too, the higher price is more than likely, plus a premium is more than likely what most customers are going to be out there paying. What I'm giving you on the lower end of this level is what, even if a dealer was probably overstocked, is about what he would expect to get for them if he'd bought them and turned them over real quickly. So that would be the bottom end liquidity in my mind, that bottom price I'm giving you. So as I said, $3 to $5.25. If you came into my store and was looking to buy silver maple leafs, I'm figuring my wholesale cost on these is probably at most $5.25. I'd be charging $6.25 over spot for BU silver maple leafs. Of course, I've got to maintain competitiveness with my local dealers, and I always advertise that I'll beat all the online sellers, or not all the. Oh, that's stupid. I shouldn't say that because there are some guys out there, small guys that can sell cheap. But I will beat AppMax, JM, and SD Bullion. They're great companies, but I'm very competitive, and a lot of my customers like to look at them. So I tell all my customers I'll beat their prices. Hopefully, your local dealer can as well. A couple other products here I'm going to move into. You know, the Britannias, they're so beautiful, and they were kind of very available for some time. But if you think the U.S. Mint is having issues producing product, UK is even worse with this viral thing. So their operations have just been shut down. Very little new product out there. I don't even see any wholesale spreads on Britannias. I think they pop up every once in a while on some of the systems. You know, like I told you, I have that CC system. Occasionally a dealer will buy some from a customer and then put them out for sale to other dealers. But other than that, they're really not easy to get. What other products as far as coins go? I'm going to go real slow here. 90%, which I don't see on here. US 90%, which some of you call constitutional silver. I'm going to give you a spread on that. That should be in here, but it's not. There it is. There's some constitutional silver down here to the right. Boy, that's a pile of it, too. Take a look at that. So constitutional silver, the current wholesale spread, remember, not retail, the current wholesale dealer spread is between plus $2 over spot to plus $3.50 over spot. This is like the bottom and top side of the spreads here. And again, that's a pretty damn good spread for even 90%. However, 90% has come down a tiny bit. They were the ask side was about 50 cents higher, and the bid side was about 50 cents higher about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I guess 90% is kind of freed up. You're seeing a little bit more 90% free up out there, and I suspect we will see that happen with different products. You'll see availability come up, but the fact that 90% is bringing plus $2 on the low side is pretty damn impressive in my opinion. Another really good deal out there, but I find it hard to recommend, is 40% U.S. silver halves. Remember, Kennedy halves from 1967-69 were made out of 40%. You can buy those at, man, you could probably get that at spot plus $2 per ounce. That's like the cheapest premium silver. But the problem with 40% is that it's not real popular. And when silver is not in such great demand, that discount will even get worse. So I don't know if it's a good place to recommend people to buy. Oh, excuse me. Give me 1 second here. Another little bit of coffee here for me. 1 sec. I'm going to just kind of gloss over a few other silver products out there and give you some spreads. Okay, let's take a look. What did I miss here? That's pretty popular. Hey, you know, one thing that I like out there that nobody really talks about or tries to push, I do have them here in the store, is people like silver dollars, American silver dollars. And let me write that down, U.S. silver dollars, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. U.S. silver dollars, there we go, Peace and Morgan dollars, pretty popular series. The spreads on them, I'm going to give you, let's talk about pre-21s, which is silver dollars made before 1921. The spread on them is like 36 to $40. And there's only, mind you, there's only like 0.77 ounces in a silver dollar, so that is a huge premium. I don't recommend buying U.S. silver dollars at all. Even the cheapest of them, which is cull dollars, dollars that have, you know, problems, they have worn rims, heavy scratches. Those are the cheapest U.S. Morgan dollars you can buy in this series, either one of these series right here. And even the spread on those is like 28 to $31. It's just ridiculous. 0.77 times, what's the price of silver right now? Close to $28 an ounce. 14. I mean, there's like 20-something dollars, $21 worth of silver in these things, and look at the premiums they're bringing. Don't recommend them, folks. I certainly don't recommend them. Love them. I have a ton of them, but I don't recommend them. It's just like silver eagles. I got a ton of them sitting here. I mostly wholesale them out because I'm not comfortable selling overpriced premium stuff to my customers. Neither should your local coin dealer if he can help it. Let me take a look at a couple other things on here on the spreadsheet. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you. U.S. silver dollars, modern commemoratives. Here is something that I can point out to you because of my experience in this field that the other YouTubers can't, or many won't, because they don't know. And I do this every day. Again, nothing to take away from these people, but again, I'm trying to find my niche here that I can help you guys. And this would be U.S. commemoratives. 1986 Statue of Liberty dollars. What else? You got 87s, 1993 Jefferson dollars. You can't buy those. Those are the Buffalo 2001s. There's a big premium on those, collectible-wise. Olympic, 84 Olympics, 83 Olympics. There's the 86 Statue of Liberty. There's so many of them out there. Look at those. Really cool. It's got made by the U.S. Mint, got the exact same amount of silver as a U.S. Morgan dollar, peace dollar, which is 0.77 ounces. You can buy these. I think these are the best deal out there if you can find them. I've got a limited amount here. I can sell you these for the melt price. not the silver price, the melt price, 0.77 times the price of silver. That's the melt price. Plus $3 per ounce. You cannot beat that for a U.S. silver product. Probably the most underlooked, undervalued U.S. silver product out there right now, if you can find them. I've only got a few hundred left, so it's not like I got thousands of them like I normally would have in typically other products. But best deal out there, U.S. commems made between 1986 to date. All the common ones, mostly the 86, 87s, and the 90s are very, very common. You can buy them for melt price plus $3. You can't beat that, folks. That's a great deal. Let's move on to silver bars and what the spreads are on silver bars out here. 1 ounce silver rounds, and that includes rectangles. The current wholesale spread is plus 2 to plus 350. Again, pretty wide, but that's because of the times. We do have wide spreads. That same would apply for 10-ounce bars. So 1 ounce and 10-ounce bars, I still think are the best deal out there. 90% is priced the same wholesale. So, if I had the choice of buying 90% coin, silver coin, or bars, I'd buy the bars just because they're already in a refined process. Again, they're refined. It's 0.999. It's easy to figure out. 90% is a little more difficult because of the math. And the popularity of bars is really good. So given the fact that bars and 90% are the same exact price right now, I would always recommend my customers buy the bars. However, I am overloaded with 90, so I can sell 90 for a little cheaper than most dealers and still give you a good rate right now while I have it. What other products here can I point out? 100-ounce bars, the best deal out there. See the 100-ounce bar I'm pointing to over here? These are 100-ounce bars here, probably. Those aren't real bars. I don't think. No, those can't be real. I don't even know who makes a bar that looks like that. That's probably just a image editor or something like that. 100-ounce bar is best deal out there. Look at the spread, $1.50 to $3.25. So I would say that's the cheapest deal out there. But again, you got to buy a 100-ounce bar. That's a little tough for some people to do. And some people like to have smaller increments as well. Let's move on to gold bullion. I'm going to give you some spreads on gold bullion as well. And this is going to be a long video. Sorry about that. But let's get this done. I think this is going to be more helpful to you than most any video you're going to watch today on precious metals. Gold, especially for stackers, people that are buying physical metal. Gold 1-ounce eagles, worst deal out there next to buffaloes. Here's your gold eagles right here. And where are buffaloes? Somewhere on here is a buffalo. There's a gold eagle. And surprise, you usually find a buffalo on every page. There's the reverse of a buffalo, and there's the obverse. Buffaloes, the ones I'm pointing at. Gold eagles right here. Worst deal out there as far as buying goes. The premiums are just ridiculous. Let me show you what the premiums, the wholesale spread on gold eagles currently. This could change on Monday, by the way. All these spreads, and these spreads do change daily. So remember that. This is not just today. These spreads can and do change daily. So gold 1-ounce eagles, the product that I least recommend because of the price, or any other products that are the price this way or higher. The current buy price, the current bids are between 105 and 155. That's the wholesale bid and ask spreads. I mean, it's a $50 spread, but it's over $100. If I have to go out and I can't find gold eagles anywhere and I have to go buy them, they're going to cost me. Let's see, the cheapest I'm probably going to pick them up if I can't find them anywhere is about 155. Again, 105 to 155. So if I absolutely have to have them and they're hard to find and I got to get them delivered right away, I could pay as much as 155 wholesale for gold 1-ounce eagles. And again, retail people, you got to add. We typically add 45 bucks an ounce for ourselves. That's what my profit margin is on small deals with gold, whether it's bars or American Eagles. So if gold eagles cost me 155 and I've got to add 45 bucks on, man, we're at 200 bucks over spot. That's just crazy, folks. So anyway, the spread's 105, 155 on those. I'd go over fractional gold pieces, and I'm going to go over one fractional piece gold product here, and just to show you how ludicrous the premiums are. Gold 1/10, the 1/10 ounce version of American Eagles. Here's the wholesale spread, plus 15% to plus 24%. So between 15 and 24% over spot is the wholesale price. You absolutely don't want to be buying any gold product if you're paying a 15 to 24% premium. I don't know why anybody in their right mind would. And there are alternatives to that, and I'll get to that in a moment. There's ways to buy fractional gold and not get screwed at 15 to 25%. Now, mind you, this is dealer prices, what dealers are paying amongst themselves. So it ain't the greedy dealers. And the first comment I hear about greedy dealers, I'm going to jump in your shit, because it ain't greedy dealers out here. These are real numbers that people are having to pay. And that greedy dealer comments only come from ignorant customers, in my opinion. So don't want to hear that. Sorry about that. And if I do, I'll explain why you're wrong 100%. Let's move along to some other products that I think are overpriced as well. Gold American maple leaves. Gold maple leaves. Some people might think Canada is part of America. Probably is in a weird way. Gold maple leaves. There's two versions of maple leaves. Many of you may not know. There's one version that has 4 nines. You see the nines here? I'm pointing 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me blow that up for you a little bit. 4 nines. And there's another version. The earlier versions of maple leaves have 3 nines. Okay, 3-9 maple leaves are cheaper than 4-9 maple leaves, but 3-9s are hard to find only because smart people know they're cheaper, and will try to buy them when they can. But I'm going to give you the price of 4-9 maples, the spread here. Ready? Here we go. 4-9 maples. The wholesale spreads are between 40 and 65 bucks on gold maple leaves, 1 ounce gold maple leaves. That's for 4 nines. And for shits and giggles, let me give you 3 nines, $25 to 55 bucks over. So you can see 3 nines do trade for a little bit less in the wholesale price as well, wholesale market as well. Let's take a look at some other products here. Mexican products, Australian kangaroos. A lot of these things aren't really readily available here, so they're a little tougher to get. But Philharmonics, for example, the Austrian Philharmonics, which I don't see here. Let me just kind of ride around and see if I can spot a Philharmonic. I don't, but a couple of these coins here are reminding me of some things I do want to bring up. And no Philharmonics. Maybe one of you guys saw one that I just sped by. But Austrian Philharmonics, the spread's $20. Call for availability. Nobody has them, it seems like, out there. So I'm not even going to bring up stuff that people don't have. Proof Gold Eagles. Stupid, stupid money. I don't even, because they're going into IRAs probably, because for some reason IRAs will only take Proof Gold Eagles, or they prefer them, or something stupid. But anyways, Gold Proof Eagles, I wouldn't even touch those. If you have Gold Proof Eagles, sell them. You can turn them into more gold. Trust me on this. Like I was telling you about gold, turning your silver. Turning your your BU silver eagles into more generic ounces. Well, you can do the same thing with gold proof gold eagles in boxes with papers. Even if you don't have papers with your gold eagles and they're encapsulated, the premiums on those are like box and papers, $350 to $450 over. Oh my God, per ounce. That's just insane. That's the wholesale level, folks. And if you got encapsulated proof gold eagles that don't have the box and papers, they're $200 to $350. So for some reason, proof gold eagles are just off the charts. Their premiums. Again, I would not advise buying these things at all. Look at the wholesale buy prices are ridiculous even. 1 ounce gold buffaloes. Premiums on those seem to have come down quite a bit. They were higher than, I don't have any right now, but they were higher than Eagles for a bit. But it looks like the gold buffalo spread is between 75 and 130. And actually, I'm surprised about that. I haven't seen any offered for sale, but it does seem like that's a hell of a lot better than American Eagles for some reason. Maybe because there's none available. That's why the bid prices are so cheap. As far as fractional pieces, I was going to bring up a couple things here that I wanted to mention to you. That's actually Italian 20 lira, which is about the same as a French 20 franc when it comes to the weight. But let me find some fractional gold pieces. Cuban 5 peso there. These are made by the U.S. Mint, believe it or not. So if you can pick these up for a little bit over melt, you're doing pretty good. Good bullion product to buy. Before there were 1/10 ounce and 1/4 ounce American Eagles, there were these products. You had Russian 10 rubles, which weren't real popular, but here you go. You've got Austrian 1 ducats, and I'm looking for French 20 francs here. There's some French 20 francs right there. Swiss 20 francs. Swiss 20 francs, there's a French 20 franc. Let me give you the spreads on those, because those are, if you want to buy fractional gold, those are way better deal than fractional eagles or maples or whatever. And what is the spread on French 20 francs? it looks like they're not available. So I can't find any. For some reason, it looks like German marks are available out there, and the spread is between melt and plus 20. That would be a good deal if you can buy some of those. Another great deal out there would be Austrian Gold 1 ducats. It looks like you can get those for, oh my gosh, the wholesale spread is plus 5. If you can pick up Austrian 1 ducats, that is super cheap for fractional pieces. So if you're in the fractional market right now, look for Gold 1 ducats. It looks like the price is super reasonable on those. If they're available, it looks like 20 marks are available too. If you can find French 20 francs or gold sovereigns for a reasonable price, maybe melt plus, it looks like the wholesale level would probably be about melt plus 20 to 30 bucks on the high side for those if they're available. Yeah, 20 bucks, hold on. Gold sovereigns, wholesale, it looks like they're out there between $10 and $20 over melt on the wholesale level, which means you could probably pay melt plus $30 or melt plus 40 bucks, which is still not a bad deal considering the prices that fractional stuff is running. U.S. gold coins, what people call pre-1933 gold, I still don't recommend it. There's way better deals out there. I think it's still an American Eagle is still almost as cheap as a $20 gold piece in low grade. So avoid 20s if you can until there's nothing else available or the premiums drop dramatically. Just my opinion again. Best deals out there, as I've been saying, this is going to be easy for me. 1 ounce gold bars. I don't recommend 10 ounce bars or any larger size bars. I recommend the 1 ounce gold bars. Fractional bars too, like 1 grams, 5 grams, 10 grams. Their premiums are a little bit too high. I'd avoid them if you could and stick with gold sovereigns, French 20 francs, that thing, because the premiums are much better there. But 1 ounce gold bars, let's see, what is the spreads on those approximately? Wholesale spreads on 1 ounce gold bars is 10 to 40 bucks. So that's the range you'll see there. For example, if I had to go out and on the high side they cost me 40 bucks, which they have been recently for good gold bars, I'm charging 45 bucks more than that. So you're going to pay spot plus 85 for small quantities. And then I reduce my price as you buy larger quantities, as does any other good dealer. Well, what is that? Oh, okay, it's my buy it and keep it local logo. I guess that's the end of it right now. I hope I helped you out with some wholesale spreads here. Again, these are spreads that dealers pay. And despite what some people think that dealers pay 200% behind melt and then charge 200% over melt. And I know, greedy dealers, I don't want to hear it. There are some greedy dealers out there, though. And there's greedy customers as well. There's just greed out there in general. But find yourself, as I've said, find yourself a good local dealer. I always recommend that for these products, and you should do well. Buy local. Let's go over the video from yesterday, 1,600 views. They're really quick. I'll say hi to a few folks out here, try to answer a question. Global reset, no. Reevaluation, yes. A lot of conspiracies out there about global reset. And it's a lot of it's so ridiculous, but you know we're in a period of major reevaluations, and that's kind of what I was talking about yesterday. What is major reevaluation? Well, that means when your currency starts to drop in value dramatically, and the cost of everything else goes up. Everything gets reevaluated. The prices of homes, the prices of what you make, what you have to pay for things. So that includes gold, silver, commodities, and everything. So stocks I think are going to get reevaluated on the downside at some point too. They have to. They can't just keep going up and up and up. So that's what yesterday's show was kind of all about. I'd like to thank the viewers here. Dumb Things You See is a local customer of mine. He's got his own little channel there, worth watching. I'll see you on Friday. Hope to get some junk. I'll take care of you, sir. Thanks for watching. Michael Fernandez says, don't switch the coin. Well, I didn't, Michael. Like I said, I am a little bit superstitious, so I did keep it. Coin said bull today. You know, I really don't always follow if these are right, but it's kind of scary, right? Like, so show the bull today. Let's see what happens. 3AM says, got to say, Brian, I really don't watch spot price at all. I'm holding whatever it does. Thanks for watching, 3AM. I really appreciate you. You're one of the folks I always like to see comment out there. Laney Caller, you can't set the price for 1 ounce and not the other. Chris says, many people do not know what Shinola is. All right. I made the comment yesterday, someone, corporate news, didn't know anything. They didn't know shit and Shinola from shit and Shinola when it came to precious metals. So I guess Chris caught that. Anyone want to do a search and let me know what Shinola means? Thanks for watching, Chris. Taylor Smith, thumbs up. All you guys, thumbs up. Oh, 4C says, if you're not superstitious, prove it by switching the coin. Well, I admit it, I am. I'm going to keep this coin right here. So it's been pretty spot on so far, it seems at least. And what else here? Oh, I'd like to thank all you folks for watching. I've got to kind of get through the show. The Potter Stacker, I think junk silver is a great way to hide your silver in plain sight. 99% of people wouldn't see for what it is. Yeah, but when people are really broke, they even steal change, dude. So if you got a jar full of change, even if it's not 90%, you know, nowadays people are just going to take whatever they can get. They break in your house. So hide it, hide it. And I did a video on the best places to put your gold and silver. Maybe I'll do another one. You don't want other people holding it for you. Someone called me yesterday and asked me about that. My advice is a good safe, a good floor safe, a good hiding place. Get into that later. And Battleborn says they only have the power that we give them. I said that yesterday, and I'm glad you liked that comment because it's true. You don't. Only victims give away their power. So I am not a victim. You're not a victim. You're not. If you're watching my show, you're here to learn for yourself. So you're not a victim, obviously. Only victims give away their power. People that aren't victims don't give away their power, and the only power they're ever going to get from me is the power that I give them, and I feel the same way about my fellow peoples out there. So thanks for watching, Battleborn. I really appreciate that. And hey, back to keep it local, buy it, keep it local, keep the money local, jobs, community, business, you name it. I am big on this. This is a big thing. I think that if you do YouTube videos out there or you run a business, you should always be promoting local businesses, your local community business, the businesses in your town, the businesses in your county, even the businesses in your state. If you can't find a good local bullion dealer, local coin dealer for buying precious metals, avoid buying online, not because APMEX, JM, or SD are bad people or bad prices. They have great prices and they're good people. Only because you can probably find a guy like me locally that will beat their prices and do it locally. And not only that, you're keeping the money local. When you spend money with me here in South Florida, I'm paying my employees. I'm spending that money locally at restaurants, at local shops. This is real important, folks, especially in these times. I can't stress this enough. Keep it local. And that applies to not just precious metals. That applies to tires, you buy jewelry, whatever it is you're buying. Keep it local, please. Well, that's really about it. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins. Looking forward to going fishing tomorrow and having a great weekend. Give me a call anytime if you're local. Remember, I only do local business in South Florida. We're a brick and mortar. We don't do any shipping. We don't do any online business. So again, if you can't deal with me directly, find yourself a local dealer. I highly recommend it. But if you are local, come in and see us anytime between 10 and 4, Mondays through Fridays. You can give us a call at the same time. Happy to answer any of your questions, and we'll always give you the best deal of the day. Meanwhile, I hope you enjoy your weekend as well as I plan on doing it, especially Memorial Day. I forgot we're closed on Monday. No markets, so I'm going to enjoy a 3-day weekend, no videos. You guys have a great 3-day weekend. I will talk to you on Tuesday. Bye now.